If you consider one tall boy, one standard drink, your liver is probably cooked. Because your liver can only process one standard drink per hour. And when you really break this down, this is actually more like 3 standard drinks. So let me explain. So this Voodoo Ranger Juice Force IPA, it contains 9.5 alcohol by volume, and it has 19.2 fluid ounces right here. When you multiply that together, you'll get 182.4. And then what you do is you take that number and divide it by 60, and that'll give you the amount of standard drinks that is inside this tall boy right here. So because your liver can only process one standard drink per hour, what you need to do, it might not be tasty, but you need to get this really cold, and you need to sip on it for about 3 hours in order for your liver to efficiently process the alcohol that is inside this Voodoo Ranger right here. So if you're going out and you're slamming these in 30 minutes, yeah, your liver's going to be working overtime to process that acetaldehyde, which that acetaldehyde, it's actually 20 times more toxic than alcohol is itself. So you may want that alcohol because that's what makes you feel good. You start feeling more carefree, loose, generally good. But what happens when that alcohol wears off? Well, your brain's flipped on its head, and all those good feelings, they're now turned bad. So instead of relaxed and carefree, you're more uptight and irritable. Instead of living in the moment, you're living life through the rearview mirror, and nobody wants that. And that's how alcohol affects your brain. Specifically, alcohol affects your GABA receptors. But how does alcohol impact your liver? So whenever you drink alcohol, it's converted in your system into acetaldehyde. And when you're exposed to that acetaldehyde, you're exposed to all the nastiness. And that's what can lead you with all that GI irritation, can really take a toll on your body, and can really do a number on your liver. So this is what a healthy liver looks like, and this is what a cooked liver looks like when you're working overtime to process acetaldehyde. And one way to help that acetaldehyde metabolization, well, don't drink, obviously. But if you are looking to enjoy a couple drinks and still are leading a health conscious lifestyle, there are steps you can take to help yourself feel better the next day and also process that acetaldehyde more efficiently. One of which is by taking Cheers, because Cheers contains a patented combination on DHM and L-cysteine to really help get to the 2 root causes. First, let's start with DHM. Whenever alcohol is binding to the GABA receptors in your brain and making you feel so good in the moment, the DHM comes in while that alcohol is in your system and binds to those same GABA receptors to effectively satiate that receptor and lessen that rebound the next day to where it's not as drastic of a downfall and your brain's not flipped on its head as much. And not only that, but the DHM can also kickstart the acetaldehyde metabolization process by speeding up the enzyme activity of ALDH. ALDH is responsible for converting acetaldehyde into acetate, which is basically just non-toxic vinegar, and then you pee it out. And the L-cysteine, on the other hand, that's what actually reduces acetaldehyde levels, because whenever acetaldehyde's in your system, L-cysteine comes into play, binds to acetaldehyde, and forms a non-toxic compound called MTCA, which effectively neutralizes acetaldehyde. So in essence, Cheers is dual action to get to the 2 root causes. The DHM can help with GABA rebound, which will help out with a lot of those psychological aspects of why you really feel bad the day after drinking. And it will also help kickstart the metabolization of acetaldehyde. And on top of that, the L-cysteine helps to reduce acetaldehyde overall. So not only do you reduce acetaldehyde, you get it out of your system faster, and the DHM will help with your psyche on top of that. So if you're drinking these fast, or if you're drinking one too many of these, give some cause to pause. Sip it slow, take care of your liver, and ultimately feel better the following day. So it's simple, really. Beers, cheers, and then feel better tomorrow.